Oh.
And so they knew that. So they wanted to hijack or prevent that prophecy from coming into fruition.
Okay, so is there any way? Let's just take away the medicine portion. Let's just like concentrate on the food and the water that they've been trying to taint, entertainment purposes only. Is there a way for us to have that be cleansed, or like if we've already been exposed to that, is there like kind of lost hope for that, or is there any kind of remedy for that situation?
There is actually. The only thing that could kill it is vibrating at a very high frequency. I believe that it's beyond the 500 hertz. So if you could get to, you could do it different ways. You could do it through a ionizing foot bath, which releases all the metals through your feet, or do it by going through a deep meditation where you could actually reach high vibrations or high frequencies where you're actually vibrating so high that you actually neutralize all the nanotech in your body. But so there's different ways of neutralizing all the stuff that's in us. You could also take a lot of chlorella, a lot of spirulina. All those superfoods are very, very well as far as like cleaning out your body from these metals and these toxins. So there's ways of doing it. So
Okay.
ionizing foot bath. Do as many sessions as you can till the water is no longer dark brown, till it starts coming out clear or light yellow. That means that your body is cleansed from all metals. Or you could just do it the harder way and go into a deep meditation and raise your frequency to a hertz where through the frequency vibrational state of your body, you're actually killing the nanotech. Yeah, because the nanotech, the third dimensional and fourth dimensional levels of reality. Once you're vibrating at fifth dimensional reality, it doesn't have an effect on you.
That's very good. I mean, because a lot of people, they're kind of worried. Like they've, like our people, they're waking up to the foods and the waters. Now, let's go like someone wanted to keep their job. Someone has to keep their win against what they wanted to do, but they had to get it. Is there any? Because you said there's about 300 to 500 times more potent. Now, is there any way that they can kind of remedy that, or let's just say they just got one round, entertainment purposes only. What can they do for that situation? Kind of the same thing.
Absolutely. The foot ionizing foot and, maintaining a high frequency at all time, whether it's through exercise, Tai Chi, any spiritual practice that will allow you to be vibrating at a very, very high frequency will also help neutralize all that stuff. Now, if they gotten 2 or 3, of that poison, then the best thing to do is just do as many foot baths as you can, as many of them, if you don't want to do it through the natural way of raising your frequency.
Right. Now, this I don't know if I work with kids. I work with special education kids, and their parents, entertainment purposes only, gave that they didn't have a choice. What advice would you give to maybe the kids, also for that same thing, same meditation, same cleansing with the baths? What would you recommend to the kids or for the kids?
It's actually different for the kids because the kids are already being born with a third and fourth strand of DNA that's fully active. So I don't think it's affecting the kids as much as the adults.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. Yeah, elaborate more on that.
Sure. 1 out of every 3rd kid right now is coming in as a starseed, as a higher advanced extraterrestrial soul, preparation for the shift. Because in the end, once we do have this collective shift into the 5th dimensional reality, marking the beginning of the age of Aquarius, all the kids from 13 years and under are going to already be indigo or highly evolved star seeds. So it's not kids at all. These higher evolved souls that are now coming in, they knew what they were getting into, but they also knew that they were going to have some sort of genetic inbuilt defense mechanism that was going to not allow that stuff to affect them at all. Because they already have higher advanced, more DNA. They have strands of DNA that are actually already vibrating at 5th dimensional realities. And these are very super gifted kids, by the way. A lot of these kids nowadays are already telepathic.
Yeah. I see it. I believe that for sure. Yep.
So
That's
it's not
amazing.
kids,
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that gives so much hope for those kids, because it just breaks my heart. I'm like, man, these kids are getting all these, they're getting all the medicine, but I love it. I love that answer. I don't think I've ever heard that answer anywhere else. I'm glad that our Soul Tribe members asked it about the kids. That's very good news. Ismael, do you mind if we take some questions from our members?
Yeah, we could do that. I also want to point out that The kids are going on a free ascension. All the children are going to be ascending with their parents, so their parents are on the positive timeline. And so is our pets. Everything is transforming. Insects, animals, plants. The whole structure of the planet is going into a higher dimension.
That was going to be one of my other questions. Like, what happens if an ascending mother is pregnant with their child, and then they get ascended? The child in the womb goes up there with them as well.
Absolutely. Yes, that's a very frequent question that I get from many, many people worldwide. What about my kids? What about my dog? They're even concerned about their dog.
Absolutely. All right. So here's a question from one of our Soul Tribe members, Kendra. Kendra wants to know, question for Ismael. When the people go to the AI reality, will we have memories of them and vice versa?
Yes. If you are in making the ascending positive timeline, you will have memories of all those people that went into the negative AI timeline. Yes.
Awesome. That was from Kendra. Here we have another one from the source. She wants to know, will people that are 5D be able to enter the AI realm to save loved ones that did not ascend?
Absolutely. Yes. People that are in the 5-dimensional world are going to be like superhumans. They're going to be operating at full consciousness capacity, utilizing their light body, capable of transferring themselves from one level of reality to the next through the modulation of their frequency. So yes, they're going to be able to pop into the lower timeline and act as superheroes and then pop right back where the AI has no access to.
Wow, that is crazy. That is mind-blowing.
The age of superheroes is almost here, guys.
Wow. All right, so Lisa wants to know, can you tell us more about prime creators like Shadow Self? Yeah,
so in the beginning, at the onset of the first, of what I call in my book, the Great Immaculate Conception, when Prime Creator Source, which is an infinite state of eternity, has always existed without beginning or end, it got bored and it decided to explore more of itself. So it began the process of what we call the first divide. And when that process began, a piece of itself broke off, and that's how the Ahriman came to be. It broke off, and then it went into the void of space. It wasn't part of the expansion of the one. It broke off completely to become a separate aspect of Prime Creator Source, and therefore, throughout all of cosmic history, that has acted as the shadow aspect of Prime Creator Source. Which makes sense because at the highest level of evil, that's what we're fighting. We're fighting the shadow aspect of Prime Creator Source that is now coming, into, it's now coming to an end, with us. We are the solution to dissolve that.
Right. Wow. So here's another one. So because my passion is with kids. So like autism, I work with a lot of autistic kids. When the solar flare happens, will that heal or cure that disorder?
Absolutely. Yes. And every illness known to man will be cured spontaneously worldwide. Wow.
I mean, you're getting so much love in our chat, Ismael. So much love. Here's some other questions. How important is silver or like precious metals in the new dimension or the new Earth?
It's a valuable resource throughout the entire cosmic community, but used in a world that is centered in hardness, love, compassion, unity, consciousness. It is used for the betterment of all humanity. It could be used for many, many different benevolent things. So it's not just a commodity that the dark side has been using to make, to use it as a way to generate income or to become wealthy. But it's more than that. In some cases, it actually acts as a regenerator of genes. As a medicine. There's many uses for gold in the multiverse. It's not just a way of getting rich and wealthy. No, it's also medicine. It's got multiple purposes. So yeah, it's a universal commodity that's actually used for good.
Awesome. We love it. Kristen, do you have some questions? I have some more questions, but Kristen, do you have any questions or anything you want to add for Ismael?
My mind is just blown. But I mean, I feel these things. I just feel he's right on. You're right on. It's
gold
amazing.
That they use in order to power many spaceships and advanced technologies. I forgot to mention that.
Say that one more time. It cut out just a little bit.
Oh, gold is also a conductor of energy, of electricity.
Right. So that's been used on all the different kind of starships or spaceships.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Kristen. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had to.
That's okay. I did kind of think of one question. It's been on my mind constantly about our past loved ones. Will we be able to actually physically see them?
Yes.
Their light bodies. Okay. Oh wow. Cool. I'm excited for that.
Could you elaborate more on that, Ismael? Like when we see our loved ones who have already passed, are they kind of like old how we saw them? Do they have different bodies? Were they like when they were younger? Kind of elaborate kind of what that looks like.
They've already went into the fifth dimensional Earth with new bodies, so they're going to look young. They're not going to look old. They're going to look like when they did when they were 30, as many of us are once we transform into fifth dimensional people. Once we transform into our fifth dimensional self, we're also going to regenerate back to looking 30 as well.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. And when I have seen my grandfather, and he is younger, like in his army days. He really is. So I 100% know that you're right on. Wow. I got the chills.
I love it. Man, this is such an amazing interview. Ismael, thank you for coming. We still have more questions. Are you still good on time?
Yes. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, so in this, when we ascend, do we have jobs, like a 9-to-5 job? Do we have bills? Do we have mortgages? What does like an everyday kind of life look like for those who do ascend?
That type of reality is part of the third dimensional Earth. So it's not going to exist in the fifth dimensional reality. In the fifth dimensional reality, there is no money. It's not a world where people have to actually work to make a living. It's different. It's a type of world where the focus is on spiritual development. Therefore, all necessities, housing, food, everything is provided because we have replicators. We have, advanced technologies that do things for us where all we have to do is focus on our talents, focus on developing our gifts and realizing our dreams. And how it works is everybody contributes by virtue of what they like to do best, by virtue of their hobbies and talents, their gifts. Every person on planet Earth is born with a gift. And so in the new heaven on earth, everyone's going to be part of a system where through your gifts, through your passion, that's how you're going to contribute to the greater good, the greater whole. And by virtue of that, you're going to be having an abundant life. So it's totally different. You could wake up whenever you want. You could go to sleep whenever you want. I think most fifth dimensional stellar cultures only work 2 hours a day. And the rest of the time, sorry about that. The rest of the time, they're, it's leisure. It's them focusing on what they like to do best. So it's beautiful.
Wow.
I love it. I mean, because right now we're in the debt slave world right now. All we do is work. And guess what? We don't get ahead at all. That's how the Dark Deep cult likes to keep us down in the dumps. But
not in the dumps anymore.
So Ismael, I think, and I'm kind of just going off of memory. You said like for those who ascend not have to, but like it's like a 51% kind of like working for giving back to humanity who may ascend. Is that correct? Maybe elaborate kind of more on that, like the 51% kind of work towards humanity in the 3D.
Well, according to the law of one, which is a universal the universal principle, all positive human-like and benevolent species follow, children of the one God. It is believed that 51% service to others, that the way to actually reach higher levels of consciousness. So as long as most people are in service to others, at least 51%, they're at least going to make the fourth dimensional Earth. But as far as like other people that are beyond the 51%, who are just actually devoted to help the collective, to help humanity, progress. Those are the people that are going to be going into the fifth, and some of us are going to even go into the sixth dimension because of how big our heart is and how in tune we are with Creator Source. Yeah.
So there's a possibility that some don't go to the fifth, but they go to the fourth. But most would go skip the fourth. So we can skip a dimension. We could skip a 4 or 5 and go to the 6, or we could even skip a 4 and go straight to the 5th.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, the most advanced souls are the ones that are going directly to the 5th. The volunteer souls that came down here. Right. For the majority part of humanity, the younger souls, Earth Terrans, they're going to at least go to the 4th dimension because they have to ascend in increments. They just their consciousness is still very, very not as advanced, you can say. So.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the solar flare. Okay. let's just say normal everyday, let's just say like I'm driving, like will this solar flare, like what will it look like am I going to be shocked? Are we just going to kind of like ascend? Are we just going to just ascend and disappear? Like what will that look like, the solar flare? I know because it awakens our DNA, because right now we only have that 4%. It awakens our DNA to like 15-20% or greater. Kind of what does that look like? What does this solar flare look like?
Spontaneous evolution worldwide. Yes. It's going to happen in a blink of an eye. Your bodies are going to be transformed into crystalline physical forms. We're still going to be physical, but yet we're going to be at a much higher level of consciousness, less denser and more in tune with this, the great force or spirit of God, whatever you want to call it, and more in tune with many dimensional aspects of ourselves. So we're going to have access to full consciousness. Memories of who we were in past lives are going to come flushing, streaming in. Memories of who you are in other versions and other parallel universes are going to come to you once you reach the fifth dimensional Earth, or we transform into fifth dimensional people.
Oh my gosh. Okay, because we did an episode about a sound event. Is this also going to be kind of a sound as well as a solar flash, like visually? Like what does that what does this look like?
As far as the sound is concerned, that might happen right before the spontaneous mutation takes place of the species, right before the transformation, which is equivalent to what many people call the sounding of the trumpet by Gabriel.
Yes.
So I've never really looked into that, but that could be a possibility. So it's something to, I guess we're all going to find out when it happens. But what I do know, it is going to take place in a blink of an eye. When the solar flash releases its final trigger, our DNA worldwide, it doesn't matter who you are, everyone's going to be upgraded. But of course, there's going to be different levels of upgrades, and that's what's going to give us the age of superheroes,
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's say we ascend, or those who ascend, okay, and then the AI or the cyborgs get left down behind. What does that world look like?
Well, it's not that they're getting left behind. They're actually going into an alternative universe, into a further digital reality, which is something that they're working with big tech, with the concept of Facebook becoming metaverse. People are getting addicted to their digital selves. So what's happening is through CERN, they actually created an alternative timeline so that when the solar flash takes place, that alternative timeline with a digital copy version of this Earth is going to go into and continue existing. Because that's what they've been doing. They've been carbon copying digitally everything on this world. Every person is being digitally copied into a virtual timeline that is going to be ultimately ruled by AI. And the only people that are not going to be making that are the people that make the positive ascension, that are not going to be part of that.
There was one. That's Kristen. Do you have any questions? Because I have more questions, and we have some more coming in from our Soul Tribe members. Kristen, do you have anything that you want to add before I go on?
Well, you know what? I think I want you to go forward. I think I know what you're going to ask.
Okay, so there are Havana. Is that how we pronounce it? Our ancestors, our ultimate ancestors from Havana.
The Havonians, yes, the Havonians.
So they are our past and future us. Can you kind of explain that just a little bit more in detail for me, just so I can understand it, and maybe for some of our Soul Tribe members?
Sure. They're known as the central race to the cosmic community, the progenitors of all human-like species that exist throughout the universes. They have always existed because they're part of the realms of eternity where there was no beginning or end. And so they're everybody's ancestors. And at the same time, because all time is taking place simultaneously, they're also existing in the future as us. Once we reach our full capacity, we become them. In other words, this whole experiment, this intergalactic experiment of combining the genes of all the celestial races into one genome, was so that the central race could embody human form. And that's why we're here. So it is us from the beginning of time, and it is us at the end of time, meeting itself here at the center. That's what we are doing. We're actually the instruments of the Havana race, and that's why we're considered the chosen race, in terms of other species out there.
Man, I'm just my mind is being blown, Kristen. I know yours is being blown too right now. Wow. Could you talk a little bit about the intergalactic experiment?
Yes, long ago, about 900 billion years ago, when this AI, Lord Ahriman, possessed the first, infrastructure, or the first digital avatar machine, decided to, infiltrate other universes, and so he was destroying many, many galaxies. And so what the Cosmic Council did, which consists of members from many, or representatives from all the universes, they met in our super universe. Planet called Uversa, which is the headquarter planet of our super universe of Orvonton, and they discussed how can we put an end to this, virus, this thing that is. And so the solution came when, again, the Havona race stepped in and said the only way we could end this conflict with Ahriman, aka Omega, is by combining all of the races combined, all of the genomes in all the multiverses in one spot to create a super race, and same time allow us to eventually incarnate and become because the Havona Central race has never been physical. They're at a such high level of reality where it's hard for them to encase in a physical form. So for the first time in cosmic history, they developed, and I'm talking about they as in the entire cosmic community, a vessel that will in turn allow the Havona race to incarnate, and that's what we're doing here. Many of us actually starseeds are members of the Havona race. So solution, and that became known as the intergalactic experiment, and Earth is the planet for that. So at the same time, the Earth, being the most diverse planet in the cosmos, carrying all the flora, fauna, and feeding of everything in life put here in one planet, has been like a showcase planet and has acted as an intergalactic exchange center of information since. So unfortunately, that planet was accepted by fallen ones. But their time is up, and now we're bringing that back into completion, where the light has won as we transform into the next stage of human evolution.
Man, this is I could talk to him all day long. I could talk to you all day long, Ismael. I could talk to you all day long. I still have some more questions. Okay. So we know, based on your past interview, you said things are being cleaned from the top down, from the 12th dimension all the way down to now the 3D dimension. And I know a lot of people are kind of being a little impatient when it comes to the dark, deep cult and everything that's going on. But people have to realize, like you said, this is a galactic warfare that's been going on for billions and billions and billions of years. Can you kind of talk about what that cleaning up looks like from the 12th dimension down? Kind of what does that look like?
Well, the Central race, the Havonians, were the ones that blocked the gates from accessing the 12th dimension and up, and that's how they were able to keep Omega stuck in the 11th dimension. And so from that point on, that initiated the first cosmic war, which pretty much allowed them to bring Omega lower and lower in dimensions, and then later. Many wars were initiated as a result of him trying to access, again, the higher dimensions. And those became known as the Wars of the Elohim. And this is before the Galactic Wars even began here in our galaxy. The Galactic Wars in our galaxies were actually the last phase of that. So, this has been a cleansing process that has been going on for billions of years. And it involves, the entire forces of light from the highest levels of reality all working together to put an end to this issue, because what we're with here is we're dealing with creation, we're dealing with existence, and they know that in order to defeat this thing, they had to create something where they were going to combine the essence and the energetic makeup of all of creation into one people, one planet. And so we're the solution for that. So we're now coming to an end. We're now ending what started off as a huge cosmic war.
Oh my gosh. We're taking some more questions from our Soul Tribe members. Guys, if you guys do want to have, this is our chance to ask our questions. Ismael has graciously come on and given his time for us. So if you guys have a question, put it in the chat. Here's one from Reality J Rocco. He wants to know, what is the ultimate form Archons can achieve? What's the ultimate form
that an Archon can achieve?
Yes.
Well, the Archons, by decree of the Order of the Ancient of Days, which is what we call the Emerald Order, was not allowed to inhabit any human form. So what they did is they developed the reptilian species. So that's how they were, made. They were made to give this Archon energy some sort of an avatar vehicle in which it could express itself in the lower dimensions. But then they realized that the reptilian vehicle was too weak because it was getting defeated by the creator gods. So what I call in my book the overseers of universes. And then that's when finally they decided to develop the first AI in the 11th creation. Because they knew that the AI was going to be more stronger and capable of reaching levels of intelligence without any limit. And so by virtue of that, the reptilian vehicle and the artificial intelligence have been what this dark energy, the archonic energy, has been using in order to, cause havoc in the living universes.
I love it. I love it, man. Okay, here's another one from one of our members. We may have already answered this, but they always get on me if I don't ask their question. So those that will be left in the negative 3D timeline, how will they experience the ones that transition to positive 5D? Will they still see them?
No, not if you go into the negative timeline. If you go into the negative timeline, it's because somehow, before you incarnated, you chose to be part of the transhumanist agenda and merge with technology, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're not going to have, as they connect people to the Borg in the negative timeline. It's not going to happen in the positive timeline. As they connect people to the mind hive of the Borg, they're going to control. Their minds are going to be absolutely controlled by the Borg. All their memories are going to be blank slated, erased. Unfortunately,
wow. You're right. That's horrible. That's horrible. And is there any way? I guess did you say like they kind of like signed like that soul contract? Is there a way that they could break that, or like that was already happened before they even came?
Well, because everything's happening simultaneously. It's only here in the third dimension that we experience linear time from point A to point B. When in actuality, time is taking place. Like the future is already taking place.
Right.
It's already been kind of decided. In a way. So the only way that they're going to able to secure their consciousness and their existence and their soul is at the end of the millennium. At the end of the millennium, they're going to have a choice if they want to continue in the cybernetic machine timeline, or if they want to go back to the organic way of life. But for at least for thousands of years, they're going to experience a technocratic dictatorship. Unfortunately, in that type of reality, the Earth does become a smart grid. A smart globe, where there's smart cities everywhere. The Internet of Things is everywhere in your walls all around you. You're talking to your car, your microwave, your stove. Everything's talking back to you. It's like it's like you're living in the AI.
Right.
It's going to be horrible for them. That's going to be their reality if they don't choose the positive ascending timeline.
Now we know that the Alliance, and I mean not just Mr. T and JFK Jr., but the Alliance kind of likes to just disclose information through maybe movies or media. Do you have any suggestions on books, movies, shows to watch that may give us some disclosures on what may occur? Yes,
Marvel's movies. A lot of those Marvel films, especially like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse, or Multiverse of Madness, that's reveals a lot of the truths about our existence. I think every Marvel movie is pretty much part of the disclosure. Another movie that's part of the disclosure, I guess, would be all the Terminator movies. They're all part of disclosure. What else? A lot of the sci-fi stuff, guys. A lot of the sci-fi stuff. Ascending Jupiter. I've never seen it, but people are telling me that Ascending Jupiter is about how these reptilian races take over the Earthlings, and then they use them as battery resources. Hey, that's what's been happening for millenniums. They use they harness our energy. By the way, but that's all coming to an end. They've been trying to, at least. So all these sci-fi movies are actually telling us the truth. So I suggest that when people watch these sci-fi movies, to see them more as documentaries, like The Matrix. Again, The Matrix is another movie that's telling us the truth about things. Just be very mindful when you're watching these films and see it more as a documentary rather than just science fiction.
I love it. What about Avatar? Kristen and I have not seen Avatar. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Have you seen that one?
I have, yeah. Yeah, and it's so dead on, These are just vehicles. These are avatars, I always like to tell people that part of the Starseed mission on the Earth is that, we're the boots on the ground, but only a portion of our consciousness was downloaded into this body that was created for us while we're still existing on Mothership. So we're still operating on different dimensions, and there's different versions of ourselves that are actually immortal, that are, we're like existing here and existing there all at the same time. So yeah, there's a lot of truth to that.
This is exciting. Kristen, do you have anything you want to add?
I was just kind of thinking, like, the ones that we love that aren't awake, how can we help them right now? To help them maybe so that they can ascend too, but I know that it's kind of you ride your own ride, So, so I don't know.
Well, it's always good to hold space for them no matter what and not judge them. I stopped using the word sheep years ago. I had to humble myself and understand that everyone's not really ready to wake up. But also bear in mind that when the EBS kicks in the positive ascending timeline, the white hats are going to hang the Kub-aron publicly. When that occurs, many people are going to be shocked, and then that's when you're going to be needed to comfort them and to not say I told you so, but in a way let them know that, hey, this is part of the awakening. We're entering a better world, and this is what's been going on, and just be there for them, because in a way, people are going to look up to you. All those people that are calling you crazy now, when all this stuff takes place, they're going to be running back to you and say, please tell us more, please tell us more. So.
All right, so the EBS system, the emergency broadcast system, and if I'm not mistaken, what may trigger that, and I don't know, and everything's speculation. And this was also in the chat before the show started. Do you know, possibly for entertainment purposes only, who may be the first arrest that would shock the world?
Yes. The first arrest is going to be Dr.
Okay. I don't want to.
His name is an F. Dr. Doom, Medicine Doom.
Dr. Doom.
And also the big gates.
The big gate.
The big gate, yes, exactly.
I'm done. I am done. Kristen, this is crazy. I love it. Wow. Ismael, could you tell us a little bit about the secrets? Can you tell us about the Pisces constellation?
The Pisces constellation. You mean right now we're ending the age of Pisces. We're in the age of Pisces.
I'm not sure where Lucky Charm Kitty was going with this one. I'll find a different question for us. All right. So we do a little bit of a segment here with Kristen and I. If I were to show you a picture of someone, would you be able to tell us if it was a reptilian or not?
Absolutely.
Oh, Kristen, this is gonna be epic. Let me share my screen. This is kind of just to give us a little bit of a break, a little bit of entertainment. Here is one right now. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, shit. Ismael, is this one a reptilian?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. There it is. You guys all know who that is. That's the governor of our great state. Entertainment purposes only. We got more. We have more. Here's a good one, Kristen. Yes, this one. We just did this one, I think, last episode. Let me go ahead and exit this. They always do this. I don't want to stop sharing. Let me get another one. We're having a little bit of a technical issues. This is going to be good. What about this one? Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Oh, that's a synthetic. It's a clone. Soulless. It's working. That's working with AI. Yes, definitely Luciferian.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this is going to be, and here's another one. And guys, go ahead and put your comments in your questions in the comments while we still have our Ismael here. So this one pop up. Okay, here's this one.
Clone. Yes, definitely clone.
And entertainment purposes only, working with the Luciferians.
Absolutely, yes.
There it is. Kristen, do you have anyone else, Kristen? Do you have anyone else that you have in mind that we would want to show to see if it's a possible reptilian here on Earth?
Over her, I just can't picture, but she looked like one. And she was from the cards, but I can't think of her name. It was one that you recently put up.
Really? All right,
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll pull up someone else. Maybe you could think of it. I'll pull up one more, and this is just because this is the one that's currently in the house right now. Let's go right here. Let's go, Brandon. Can you tell us a little bit about this one, Ismael?
Yes, and so is his partner, by the way. They're both clones.
And what about Brandon's son?
He's actually reptilian.
Wow.
Yeah, he's definitely in cahoots with the Dark Lords, running him, controlling him.
Can you tell us a little bit about Forrest Gump, the actor who played Forrest Gump? Can you tell us about him?
They tried to clone him. I think they did, but the authentic one was fighting it. You know, he didn't want to be a part of it. He made the choice not to.
Right. Oh my gosh. All right. So, okay. All right. Let's just say, like, because we've come to some kind of understanding that they've been kind of captured by the White Hats, or the White Hats are taking them out. Because we know this is a spiritual warfare. How can you extinguish a Luciferian soul?
Well, you could do away with the body, but I mean, the spirit is going to be extinguished when the solar flash takes place. So yeah, so in a way, it's like throughout the galaxy, the house cleansing has been finished. You know, the remaining few Dracos and evil aliens that are still lurking around are hiding within our solar system. But in the way, the Federation kept them here because they know that when the flash takes place, they're going to be bursting. They're going to be, extinct. So yeah, that's going to kill off every negative entity.
So the solar flare is like a kind of like it's a cleansing of our planet, of our universe.
Exactly, pretty much. And it's not just an event that's going to take place on our planet, but it's an event that's actually going to take place in the entire universe. But our planet's going to initiate that event. So that's why, in certain, when you read certain scriptures, it talks about how we're going to explore or be part of a new heaven and a new earth.
Yes.
What they mean is that literally when this flash takes place, it's going to act like an EMP, destroying all of evil everywhere. But that EMP is going to come from the earth, and it's going to emanate everywhere. And that's what's going to give us like a whole new different cosmos.
Wow.
Earth is going to of everything.
I'm telling you, I think you said in your interview with Janine that you said that the Earth is kind of like the hub or the convergence of the universe. And that makes sense when you just said that the solar flare is going to like initiate here, but it doesn't just say, it goes throughout the whole universe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is crazy. Man, where was I going with that? Oh my gosh. This is everyone is loving you, Ismael, in our super chat. Everyone loves you. Chris, do you have any questions? I have more, but I don't want to be the boss and just be asking all the questions because our soul tribe is going to get all over me that I was just being dominant.
Lightfoot. Who is Lightfoot?
Oh, Mayor Lightfoot.
Yeah.
The mayor of Chicago. Ismael, have you seen her picture?
Never have.
Oh, this is going to be good. All right, let me get her up. That was it. I think people have nicknamed her Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But let's look at her. This is the mayor of Mayor Lightfoot, mayor of Chicago. Please tell me I could get her face up. Here she is. Let me share my screen. That's who I think I was trying to share, but she, for some reason, the Dark Geek did not want me to share. But here it is. Here's Mayor Lightfoot.
Oh, she's totally reptilian. Oh my gosh.
Okay, the cards are right then.
Oh my god, totally reptilian.
She looks like it though,
Entertainment purposes only, but not really. Ismael, man, you are on fire. We love it. When we are in the 5D, when we ascend, do we still reproduce? I'm trying to kind of there's a elaborate comment in the chat. Are we still able to reproduce in the 5D?
Absolutely. Yes. Reproduction takes place all the way up to the 7th dimension.
Man.
Organically, in other words.
Right, organically.
And beyond the 7th dimension, we by combining our essences, we create, synthesis of the two. So it's different then, but we're still going to have physical bodies in the fifth dimension, which means we're still going to have genitalia. So it's going to be, it's just, we're just going to have better bodies. You know, bodies are going to last longer.
Right. Elon Musk. Can you give us any information about Elon Musk? Is he working with the alliance? Has he been cyborged? Kind of. Do you have any information on Elon?
Okay, initially, yes, he was working with the alliance, but ever since he started developing that neural lace, he actually used it on himself in order to enhance his intelligence. And so he's already a cyborg, by the way. And so now he's been compromised by the AI, by Omega.
So yeah,
ASOS and Google and all the other big tech companies are literally working for the beast. The beast is Omega, by the way.
The beast is Omega, like the beast. Oh my gosh,
the beast of Revelations. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Kristen,
That's
this is completely making sense and connecting so many dots.
It does. Yeah. Wow.
All right, can you tell us a little bit? I know we can't disclose, or you can't disclose everything. Can you tell us maybe about your last encounter with Mr. T or JFK Jr.? Anything that you would want to kind of share with us that you can about Mr. T?
Well, I've never met them physically, but in the astral, their spirits are very active. JFK Jr., he's actually very spiritual. He's a very spiritual man. From what I understand is that, they're getting ready to make an appearance. For the storm, right? The EBS, all that stuff is going to give them the platform. And like I said, many people are going to be shocked, including Marilyn Monroe, Princess Diana, and many others. Those are the leaders of the Whiteheads, by the way, which is full for 134 countries.
What about, this is a big topic in our household. What about Elvis Presley?
No, he definitely, he OD'd.
Okay, I had to ask, Kristen, it's going to break our mother's heart, but I had to ask about Elvis, but it's okay. I know she will still love you. What does it look like? Here's another question. What does it kind of look like in the fifth dimension? Do we still have stars? Do we have a sun? Do we have a sky? Do we have constellations? What does it kind of look like kind of physically in the fifth dimension?
Well, we're going to have two stars. We're going to have two suns. We're also going to have planets that are going to be like biospheres right outside of our planet that are going to, like we're going to be able to see them like really close up. We're going to have the stars are going to look brighter, so yeah, it's just going to be more, the visual effects of the fifth dimensional Earth is just going to be more enhanced. It's going to be more futuristic. Okay. So we are going to be powered by two different suns. Two different suns, exactly.
And when we have our dormant DNA kind of awoken, how do we travel? Do we just transport, or do we have vehicles? What does that look like?
Well, if you're in the fifth dimensional reality, you're still going to use external technology, such as flying transportation, UFOs. But if you're in the fifth dimensional reality, you're going to be able to travel through your Merkaba, your light body. Your light body is an extension of you, and it's going to create like the vehicle that is going to allow you to go from any planet in the cosmos at will, or any dimensional plane of reality, wherever you want to go, because you're going to have the ability to transform your physical vessel into pure energy, and like an email, redirected wherever it is that you want to end up, and then rematerialize once you get to your destination in physical form again. That's the beauty of being a fifth dimensional person, is that you're going to have these abilities that we could only dream of having.
Right. Man, I love it. Kristen, you just sent me a text message. I want you to ask that question. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Kristen's a little shy.
I'm a little shy because, man, this is so cool.
Go ahead and ask.
I'm not normally shy. I don't know. All right, so I was wondering, because my brother here, Jason, I have felt is Palladian. I feel that we both are. Like, we're twins from past lives and all of that. But how do I determine that for sure? The certainty. Like, I feel it, but I want to be sure. So how can I determine that?
That you guys are like twins in a past life?
That we are Palladian, I guess.
Palladian, okay. how is it that you're feeling that you're pleiadianing? Is it something did you have a dream? Were you contacted?
Yeah, dreams, and it's always been a download.
And we can kind of telepathically like talk to each other, and also like with other family members who are still on this earth plane. Like we could easily like have conversations. I don't know. It's kind of like The Shining, like the movie The Shining. Like we could actually have conversations without even saying anything.
Oh, well, you guys are definitely connected, entangled, right?
Yes.
You guys are very close. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are part of the same oversoul.
Nice.
Okay.
I love it.
Cool.
Wow. Okay. There was one other. There are a few more questions on here. Kristen, do you have any other questions that you would want to see or ask?
Just I guess about I mean, you kind of answered it though, that Earth will just be more beautiful after this happens. It'll just be the way it's supposed to be.
Oh.
You know?
What about our diet? What do we need to eat? Do we eat in the fifth dimension? Do we need to survive and drink water? And like, what does that, how do our bodies, or I guess our soul or beings kind of need energy, like food and water?
Well, that's going to be your choice, because in the fifth dimension, when your light bodies are fully operational, you're going to be able to just live off of universal light force from the sun, and then nourish you and give you all your nutrients and everything, keep you at optimal potential. So if you want to eat food, then since you're also going to be physical, that's going to be your choice. You're going to be able to through your own by controlling your own vibrational frequency, materialize or descend into a fourth dimensional form. And then that's when you're able to enjoy a nice piece of steak with vegetables and dessert.
I love it. I love it. Here's some
mythology performed. That's the gods of mythology were able to do. The gods of mythology were actually the fifth dimensional Nibirians. That's what they posed as gods in ancient times. But they had the ability to pop into our reality and then pop out of our reality.
Interesting. This is mind blowing. Can you answer this question possibly? Do you know who Juan Osaban is?
Juan Osaban? No, I've never heard of him.
Okay, so Juan Osaban. I'm sorry, David Wagner, King of Swords. He had that question. He doesn't know who Juan Osaban is. Here's another question about Baron Trump. We pulled some cards on Baron Trump, and we've come to some sort of determination that Baron Trump has been around for biblical days, and he's playing a big role with the Alliance. Is that true? And do you have kind of any information that you could tell us and share with our Soul Tribe members about Baron Trump himself?
Yes, the entire Trump family is part of the Alliance. And the reason being, so there's a genetic connection between all the members of the Alliance that connects Trump with JFK Jr., Princess Diana. They all come from the same lineage that could be traceable. And this is where it's going to get deep. That can be traceable back to Jesus and Mary Magdalene, because they were the original Whiteheads going 1,000 years ago.
Absolutely, I believe.
It's been their descendants throughout all of history. And that explains why the Knights of the Templar in the Da Vinci Code were very instrumental in protecting what they called the priority of Zion. And when you think of what the term Zion really means heaven on earth, means the free world, as opposed to the Babylonian Brotherhood and their lineage that has been controlling our world for thousands of years, whose time is up, of course.
When it comes to med beds or medical beds, there's a lot that's been floating out there on the internet, on YouTube, different people talking about med beds. I guess it could be said that this solar flare is kind of like a universal med bed. But do we have med beds currently here on Earth helping people and kind of regenerating that dead DNA?
Absolutely, yes. They're being mass produced in Mars as I speak. Ever since 2016, when the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Federation, cleaned house within our solar system, they've been producing these technologies on a mass scale because they're getting ready to bring it to us. At the same time, they've been using these technologies in the private sector for many years. So yes, a lot of billionaires are actually, are the ones that are benefiting from these technologies. They never get sick, and if they get sick, they get cancer, they're healed immediately. So, but the Earth Alliance is trying to push that technology or disclose that technology to the general public so that we could eventually have it. But of course, before we do so, we have to bring down the current, I'm sorry to say this, the current, medical structure, including the pharmacy, tell because that's all Kub-aron. So of course, with the fall of the Kub-aron, all these newer technologies, free energy, light healing modalities through frequency, it's all going to come into play.
This may have already.
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không còn mơ em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu em bay. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá. Cho bên mơ em không mơ ai. Anh một đêm mơ. Chỉ cần bên em không được cần nhớ. Và chỉ thôi không còn nhớ. Và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ còn với em ở đây. Và nhưng không muốn em mà mày tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu không em như nằm hâm mộ anh như đang mong cầu và mưa bên em hôn sầu cha có mà mai em mơ chỉ có bên em nhưng đừng có mơ mà đang dài em muốn bên ai anh không mong gì hơn chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau mà đừng em đâu anh mơ em muốn em bên anh có em ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu ôm anh.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well I just wanna be happy, how to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear. You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-A-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming. You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-A-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me. My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he snaps me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel. I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks. I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere